What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad. And once again, I'm fired up and excited, family, because we have another phenomenal individual tonight on the show. This gentleman is doing some extraordinary things in the home business network marketing arena, helping a lot of people. And that's what we aim to focus on is, folks that are out there, people, extraordinary individuals that are out there helping a lot of people win in this industry we know well as network marketing, work from home. And we got Andrew Eaton on the show, family. Let me get myself on camera so you can see me and I can speak to the family. But Andrew Eaton is on the show, entrepreneur, business mentor, speaker internationally. And again, he's helping a lot of people win big, guys. Let me get myself on camera so I can tell you directly. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Make sure that you're liking this video so that way we get the message spread abroad. And make sure you share this video with someone that you hope to inspire, because I can guarantee you, family, you're gonna get some tremendous value with this gentleman here. Let's make sure that we got him on the show with us tonight. Andrew, can you hear me okay, man? I can hear you. Let me get you on camera for the family so we can talk to you and speak with you live and direct. I'm glad to have you on the show. Busy man, you're doing some major things out there in the industry, so we're absolutely excited to speak with you tonight and have you on the show. I want to thank you for coming on, man.
Well, John, it's absolutely a pleasure being on your show, and thank you very much for having me. I've traveled to America twice in the last month. Went to Vegas for the big Network Marketing Pro conference, flew back to South Africa, and then flew back 7 days later, straight back into Vegas for a mastermind. So I've been traveling quite a bit to the States, but back home now, I'll be back home for a couple of days and rearing for 2020.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. One of my places on my bucket list to travel to is South Africa, man, because it's absolutely beautiful in South Africa, man. So I definitely want to visit there one day. What if I come there, like, what's one place I have to visit, or tell me where do I have to go? What must I absolutely see?
Well, there's two places that I'd recommend. I can't put it down to one. The first place is obviously Cape Town's been voted the most beautiful city in the world 2 years in a row now.
Yes.
So Cape Town is one place I definitely wouldn't miss. And the other place is you just have to go and find one of the game reserves. And I'll always be able to recommend you a game reserve, John. And there's some really great ones there, and we pretty much guaranteed to see the big five. So you've got to get your game reserve in, and you've got to get Cape Town in.
Amazing. Definitely working on it, my brother. If you've seen the show a little bit, Andrew, what we like to do here on the Builders Club TV show, we like to travel back in time. We have our Builders Club TV time machine, and the family knows about it. We throw our guests into the Builders Club time machine, and we take them back, and we look into the past, and we take a look at your path to success, because we believe there's so much to learn from the path that you've chosen. And digging a little bit into your history, we've been able to find so many nuggets, so many hidden jewels when we do this, man. So if we can, we like to dig in your past a little bit and talk to you about your path to success. So is that cool? Can we do that tonight, man?
We can absolutely do that, my friend.
Awesome. Well, Andrew, if you will tell us, what was life like for you before you discovered the network marketing industry?
It's a great question. I discovered the network marketing profession for the first time in the late 90s when I was a student. I saw it with a company that I think everyone knows. It's the oldest one, the biggest one, with Amway in the late 90s. They were launching in South Africa. I was a wet behind the ear student. I was asked to go to a meeting, and I'm one of those people that got it. I saw the model, I understood the model. I had no problem with the model as far as I was concerned. I was going to be a multi-millionaire before I left university, before I left college. And I joined, and for 3 years and a month, and I quit in 2000, and swore I'd never do it again. Went the traditional business way, started an IT business. And in 2005 or 6, I had my second dabble with another company. Quit that after about 9 months for different reasons, but saw I'd never get into network marketing again. But then everything changed for me in 2008. Dejan, I don't know if you remember, the 2008 was the last big global financial crisis that we had. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And my IT business went down at that stage, went under, and I was broke. I'd only been married for a year. My wife's salary kept us alive. So there's a lesson there, don't ever knock someone who's earning a salary. They're never going to have financial freedom. But, if you're earning salary and you're putting food on the table, it's a good thing that you're doing. So my wife put the food on the table for a while. I went out and looked for another job, which as a entrepreneur kills you. But I had to do what I had to do. And I found a job, but it wasn't paying me much. And I worked that job for a couple of years. And I was at that stage what I'd probably term comfortably uncomfortable. And that I didn't like where my life was going, but I had the paycheck and, life was okay. My dreams had shrunk, and I was sort of okay with that as well. I think I was burnt out from being an entrepreneur as well, but I was comfortably uncomfortable. But, they say that in everyone's life, 2 or 3 things that happen in your life which alter your life forever, the path of your life forever. And for me, that happened in 2011. We had a 2-year-old little daughter, and we found out that she turns 11 in 2 weeks' time. And we found out in 2011 that she was autistic. And I just realized then, Dojan, that if I wasn't going to do something different, there was no ways I was going to be able to give this little girl what she deserved from me as a parent, from us as parents, which was not only money to be able to do everything we can to pay for anything we can that would help her on her journey of having to overcome this challenge that she would now face, but also the time, the time for myself and my wife to put into our children. Now every parent wants to put time into their children, and we're not special because our kid was autistic. That was just my wake up moment,
right?
And I realized I had to do something really different. And so the problem in 2011 was, I knew that I had to start a business. I didn't know anything about investing. I didn't have enough money to put into property or anything like that. And so the only thing I knew that I was going to be able to do to give me money and time freedom, the passive income, was network marketing again. And so in 2011, I just decided to get serious. And that was a turning point in my life. 2011, signed up for the company that I was with for the next 8 years. I'm not with them anymore. I changed companies last year for reasons. I'm very grateful for the other company, but that company, for being with that company, I started a journey, and it changed my life forever. We found out in 2014 that our little boy was also autistic. So our why has been to provide our children with 2 full-time parents that can give them everything that they need, both in terms of money and time. I always had this dream and this vision, Dojan, that if a doctor from the Swiss Alps phoned and said, look, there's a stream that if you drink from the stream, that you can cure your kids of autism. But the problem is it's incredibly expensive. It's $50,000 and you need to be here for 6 weeks. I always say to my wife, when that call ever comes through, I want to be in the position that we've got the time and money to do it. And that's been the dream, and that's what we've accomplished thanks to the network marketing profession.
That's wow, powerful stuff. Absolutely a strong why. Here's a question for you that I'm curious about. How difficult with those circumstances, how difficult is it to actually build a work from home business?
With having 2 special needs children?
Yes.
It was incredibly hard. I think it was more hard on my wife. I just got busy. My wife is not involved with the business because our dream was to free her up to empower our children.
Right.
So my wife's not involved with the business. So I think it was harder on her. I started off part-time like most people. I still had my job, but I was coming home in the evenings, gulping down dinner, and I was going out to home meetings or anything that I'd set up. And then when I was coming home late at night from those home meetings and getting straight onto social media and talking to people from other parts of the world that were having daytime, while we were having nighttime, and then wake up in the morning, go to work, And my wife had a full-time job at that stage as well. She was still working corporate. So it was more hard on her than it was on me. I just got busy and I had a big why, and nothing was going to stop me. And, you know, all the hard work was on her. And it caused a lot of hardship between the two of us, because there's a lot of sacrifices that had to be made. Mm-hmm. But I think we both realized that if we didn't make those sacrifices on both parts, that, you know, we I don't want to say fail our children, but we possibly wouldn't be doing the best we could. And so, so more on her side. But I think from my side, anyone who decides to get serious with network marketing and wants to go all the way, I did nothing that any of those people wouldn't be doing. You know, just got busy, really busy.
Absolutely. In that process, however, getting busy, building, right? You're in the thick, you know, you're on the front line building your business. Those times where, you know, times got a little tough, right? Maybe the business wasn't where it needed to be yet. You're building, right? What are some of the things that you did to fight being discouraged? What kept you going with all the circumstances, with, you know, your wife being at home taking care of the children, you're out there building it, but it doesn't always go as planned? What kept you going, right? What kept you motivated in fighting discouragement?
I absolutely love this question, because, you know, so often people come and say, how did you do it? You know, and I always say to people, if the why isn't big enough, the how doesn't matter. Conversely, if the why is big enough, the how doesn't matter either. And, you know, that's why I always encourage people, when you get started in this profession, you need to go and take some quiet time. You need to go and do this. And you need to write down and become very clear on your why, because if your why is not big enough, when the first obstacles come in your way, and it's not a case of if they do, it's a case of when they do. We all face our first hater at some stage. We all face our first rejections at some stage. All of us. You know, the only difference between the $1 million earner and someone who hasn't made any network marketing is the $1 million earner had a big enough why to work through those phases, through those times where they encountered their first hater, or where they encountered the first doubter, or they got their first no. And so what carried me through is I was very fortunate. My why was my little daughter. My little daughter happened to be 5 meters down the passage from me. And all I had to do in the morning to find out why I was making those calls when I didn't feel like it, why I was going out at night when I didn't feel like it, all I had to do was poke my head into the room, look at her lying in a little bed, and I had a little boy at that stage as well. Obviously, we didn't know he was special needs then, but looking at these kids and going, okay, this is why I'm doing it. And so my why was right in front of me. And I think, you know, some people have to stretch a little bit further than that to find their why, but you need to find your why. If your why is not strong enough, you're probably not going to make it. But if your why is strong enough, man, nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. Nothing.
That's good stuff.
So I just needed to find my why all the time. I needed to remember my why. Every morning I was writing down my dreams for these kids. I was verbalizing them. And, you know, it's things that every successful person will tell you to do. For an average person like me, when I started the journey, I felt a bit awkward doing all these things. But then I realized that, you know, the difference between the successful people who are telling you to write down your goals, write down your why, read them out every day, verbalize them every day. The difference between them and me is that they'd become successful and I was still not successful, and that possibly I should start doing what they tell me to do. And so I started doing those, and I started visualizing my whys, verbalizing them daily, reading them out loudly, doing my affirmations daily. Things started to change for me, and that kept me going.
Wow. I believe that, you know, most people never write down their goals. It's because they're afraid they might actually happen, right? How powerful has that been, like, for you? Like, people don't write down their goals, right? Most people don't operate with a calendar. Most people don't put what they want to happen in front of them so they can see it visually. But how powerful has that been for you, writing down your goals, you know, creating a vision board, working strategically, you know, with it, you know, filling up your calendar Is that something that you do? And you know, how has it been? Like, how powerful has that been for you?
I journal daily. I sit down, one of the first things in the morning, put up my journal, and here it is. And every day, and you'll see today's one. Let's get to it. Every day, there's the date. As you can see, that's today's date. I write down my goal I write down my goal. I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I do 1 or 2 affirmations. I do a bit of vision casting as to where I see my life going. I do my I ams. So I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm happy. I do that. And then at the end of it, I always go, life is great. Life is great, so you've got to be grateful for it. So, so visualizing it, reminding myself daily what my goals are, is one of the most important things I've done on this journey. And I think where most people get waylaid, excuse me, on this journey is that they don't write it down and they don't visualize it, and then it becomes very fluffy, and you know, they forget why they're doing it. When you forget why you're doing it, well then, you know, that's when your doubters and your haters are going to get the better of you. I always ask people, do you think Elon Musk doesn't have very definitive goals that he sets himself with, very definitive vision for where he's going? He didn't just pluck it out the sky. You know, that's what successful people do. So I work very much with a diary. I've got a personal assistant who keeps my diary for me. I plan my year ahead. I've got every single one of my events planned for the year already. That was done at the end of last year already. I have my goals set. I have, as you saw there, my journal that I do daily. And it's just a habit. It's a wealth creation habit, or success creation habit that any successful person will tell you that they've done.
Wow. You know, recently you spoke at the Network Marketing Pro event. You know, you speak on stage, you're training people, but going back to your journey, that wasn't always your reality, right? Can you talk to us a little bit about how it felt, or you can remember those emotions you had when you started to meet some of your goals, some of your financial goals, some of your business goals, right at that moment where you said to yourself, this is actually working?
You know what? That's a great question. Again, you know, when I started, you must understand, Jojan, here in South Africa, it's 15 Rand to the dollar. And so if you're earning $1,000 or $2,000 here in South Africa as a network marketer, you know, that's 40,000 Rand. And that's a lot of money for South Africans. Most middle income managers make about 30 fish, and all I do to see what I'm earning now. I didn't at that stage dream of being a 6-figure or a 7-figure income earner. I just thought if I could make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month, I'm made. And the irony is, in South Africa, is a lot of network marketers that I've met from other companies, when they're making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, they think they're a leader. They think they've made it. And one of my passions, by the way, on a side note, is to improve the profession and get people in Africa to think bigger about what real money in network marketing is about. And that $2,000 to $3,000 is not a lot. But that's all I wanted to do in the beginning. And it took me about 8-9 months to do that. And I quit my job. And it was one of the happiest feelings. I felt like, it was hard work. It was really hard work getting to it. It was late nights, like I said to you. It was waking up early in the morning, going to my office. I was very, very ethical in what I did. I did not operate my network marketing business in my office hours. The only time I would operate it in my office hours was sitting in the traffic. I had my pad next to me with all the names that I had to phone, I'd phone people from my car, and that's the only time that I put into my network marketing business during office hours. Everything else was after hours, so it was a lot of hard work. But when I got to that $2,000 to $3,000 and I was able to speak to my boss and say to him, you know, thank you for everything, but I'm moving on, it was a really satisfying time. And it was only $2,000 to $3,000 a month, but I realized I had a real business. And from then on, it expanded. Look, if I can just get to $5,000 a month. See, I didn't have any mentors in the beginning because my company that I joined back then, they didn't have a great network marketing culture. So that's how I found my external mentors, like the Eric Corys of the world, and the Todd Falcones. I YouTube them, and so I didn't know what a good income was in network marketing globally. I just knew that $5,000 in South Africa, man, you're the man. You're the woman.
Wow.
And then I hit that about a year later, year and a half, 2 years later, and but then I got stuck there. I got very stuck at $5,000, $5,000 for 2.5, 3 years. And it's because I didn't have a system and I didn't have much duplication happening. And so found some other mentors of mine to help me through that. And within about 14, 15 months from that, I became a 6-figure income earner.
Wow. And
so when that happened, I mean, I just couldn't understand what was happening. I couldn't fathom it. Being a South African where, 50,000 Rand a month is a lot of money. All of a sudden starting to make, 100, 200,000 Rand a month, which is, $10,000 plus a month it was an amazing experience. But, nothing comes without pain. Nothing comes without the sacrifices that you got to make. And, so many people, the mistake I see people making in network marketing is they tell the new person how easy it's going to be. And I always tell people it's never going to be easy. If you follow the system, it's simple, but it's never easy. And that's just also a success principle. You won't get to the top if you think it's easy. You can follow some simple processes and you can implement simple systems that can help you, but you got to get ready and be prepared to get your hands dirty, to do the hours, to drive those late nights, to be on webinars at 2 o'clock in the 3 o'clock in the morning with overseas teams. It's the last thing you feel like. You've got to be willing to go to the pain. So, and I think once I learned that, then I was ready to, and I saw and I got the belief that I could go even bigger than 6 figures and go into multiple 6 figures. Then I had the system with me that enabled me to do that with the work ethic and able to duplicate it into my team.
Wow. Simply an amazing story. Andrew, will you go ahead and give out your social media, website, or anything like that? The family can get in touch if they like.
Yeah, look, I don't have a website, but if anyone would like to get hold of me, they can just get hold of me. Look for me on Andrew Eaton on Facebook or Andrew Eaton GH on Twitter. I mean, not on Twitter, on Instagram. So that's where I spend most of my time, Instagram and Facebook. So those would be the two platforms where people can reach out to me. And when you reach out to me, just please say that you saw me on the show, and then I'll know where you came from.
Absolutely, man. It's been an amazing time with you here. We definitely gotta have you back. Your family, we consider you family here on the Builders Club TV show. So much to learn from you, man. So little time. But before we let you go, Andrew, we would like to play a game with you that we've been playing with our guests. They've been absolutely crushing it. The family's been loving it. We call it a word of advice with a mentor. A word of advice with a mentor. And the way that we play it, man, is simple. I'm going to shoot a few words at you, okay? And you're going to give us back a word of advice based on that word. Does that make sense?
One word.
I'm going to give you a few words, and then with the words I give you, you're going to give us advice based around the word that I give you.
Okay. All right. And I'm only allowed to say one word.
No, you can give us a complete theory, concept, thought, paragraph. You can tell, okay. You can just, the actual advice that you give us is just going to be based on the word. All right, here we go. So the first word that we have for you, Andrew, is dream.
Dream bigger, quicker. There's one word of advice I could give is don't limit the size of your dreams, man. That's why I said you're going to sit down when you start in this business, go and sit down. And even if it's going to take you a day, go and sit down in a quiet place and let your mind go well. Dream quicker, dream bigger, quicker.
Amazing. The next word is change.
For things to change, you need to change. That's one of the biggest things I learned. When I started this business in 2011, I was always around the barbecue, I was probably the fun guy, but I wasn't a very inspiring guy. Where I was in my life, I probably would not have attracted a lot of people into my business right then. But I realized, as Jim Rohn said, for things to change, I needed to change.
The next word is problem.
If wealthy people find the problem and get the solution. Identify the problem and find the solution. A problem is only a solution waiting to happen.
Okay, the next word that we have for you, here's a good one, is why.
If your why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. Conversely, if the why is big enough, the how also won't matter. Nothing will stop you. Find your why. It's the same as finding your dream. Find your why, internalize it. It must either hurt you in the morning when you wake up because it's so sore that because you so badly want, or it must keep you awake at night because you're so excited that you found the right vehicle to get to your why. But find your why. Money should never be the why. Money should be the result of a big why.
Amazing. The last word that we have for you, Andrew, is habit.
Habits take time to form. If you've got bad habits right now, it's going to take time to get rid of them. If you want to form good habits, you need to start a daily routine. And within a couple of months' time, normally 3 to 6 months, if you practice those routines, you would have formed a new good habit. But don't expect habits to come overnight. Bad habits, if you've got bad habits and you don't do anything about them, they're going to get bigger and bigger over time as well. So get rid of the bad habits as quickly as you can. Start practicing daily routines to form new good habits, and be patient. It takes 3 to 6 months.
Wow. Amazing stuff. Andrew Eaton, family, you totally crushed the game as expected. We definitely going to have you back. We just don't have enough time to speak with you and get everything that we want to get from you. Will you come back and talk with us, man, and at a later date?
John, I'd love to talk to you guys again, man. You know, I'm so pleased that you reached out to me. I've loved this interview. I've loved this chat. If there's any way I can serve the network marketing community like you are, you know, you're obviously serving a huge part of the network marketing community there. So thank you for that. The network marketing profession needs more people like you doing this, serving the community. And if I can play a part in helping and assisting that, then I'll talk to you anytime, and just pop me a line. You know, I'll do it.
We definitely appreciate you. You are family here on the Builders Club TV show. Looking forward to speaking with you again. Andrew Eaton, family. There you have it. We'll see you next time. Peace.